Found another angle that works pretty good. The rock's just sitting by itself. Just getting the spot I want. This guy was probably the best. Look at that. That's the score. Beautiful tip sitting in that dolomite. Okay, it's about 25 minutes. Let's get him, let's take a peek. There's a big guy here. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes, this is amazing. Look at that. Oh wow. Calcite, I love you, but I don't regret making this choice. That is just crazy. Check it out. This is such an awesome looking combo. It's not a huge crystal, but it's still attached, and I can see all the sides. The tip is undamaged after the cleanup. It's got that beautiful calcite backdrop with the Iceland spar format cleavage. It is just really a sweet looking piece. Love it. Hi everybody, Anthony here, and thanks for watching Crystal Miner Rocks. Today I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to work on my Herkimer diamonds that I brought back from St. Johnsville, New York. I went to two different mine sites. One was Crystal Grove and the other one was Soul Family Farm. You can find these beautiful Herkimer diamonds both loose as well as in the host matrix rock called dolostone. And in this case I found a lot of both. I broke a ton of rock, so I've got about maybe 8 or 10 pieces of these matrix pieces. The space inside these voids are called a vug, and when it's clear you'll have just the crystal growing. But when other minerals seep in this case calcite, it can impact or cover up the crystal as well. So I thought long and hard about it, and even though they're beautiful specimen pieces, I decided to, see if I can expose more of the crystal face around the Herkimer diamond and basically get it to look better. So I'm going to burn it off with muriatic acid. I'm going to etch the calcite off and hopefully keep my fingers crossed and get some beautiful specimens show up after the calcite's gone. So here are some examples of the pieces that I'm not going to work on. If you're lucky, you'll find the Herkimer right there inside the vug, but there's nothing impeding its view. So beautiful piece right there. This is one of my favorites. So beautiful Herc right there and nothing surrounding it. And then I found a bunch of pieces like this one where it was just covered in calcite. So there's both of them right there, and my goal is to try to get more of the crystal face exposed once the calcite's gone. Here are two other smaller pieces. So beautiful combo pieces, but I decided to see if I can get more of the Hercs out. So here's the base of the quartz, and the point hopefully will be underneath it. I don't know what will show up once it's gone. This one here, here's the beautiful torpedo right there, and hopefully I can see more of the side of it right there once that's gone. Alright, let's see what happens. Maybe a score. Okay, so let's get it started. The standard stuff you're going to need: a bucket, safety goggles, gloves, muriatic acid. You can get it from Home Depot, Walmart, so forth. I'm probably going to do a 50-50 mix and start at maybe leaving it in there for like 15 to 30 minutes. I'm not sure how long. I've never done this before. To get the results I want. So I'm just going to go to the safe approach and do some, check it, do some, check it. I can always go longer, but I don't want to damage the crystal or maybe the matrix. So let's see what happens. I've loaded the smaller pieces in a small basket that'll be easier to take out with the out of the bucket with my tongs, and then I'm gonna put these guys above it. So let's start with this right here. Start loading them up. Goodbye, calcite. I will miss you. Pieces here. Here's the good stuff. And we're just gonna do a 50-50 mix. You can see it's smoking already. Just calcite's burning off. That should be about good. Actually, now that I think about it, it might even just be 5 minutes. Yeah. Depends on how much calcite's on there, of course. Oh yeah, it's starting to really cook. It's been about 5 minutes. The fumes are quite strong. I'm holding my breath doing this. Looks like there's still a bit chunk there. See the crystal right there? Okay, keep it going. They're still cooking, but as I was checking, I noticed that this was the one that had very little calcite, and that's already burned off. So the rest of that material around it is dolomite. So it's in a bed of dolomite, and that's about as good as this guy's gonna look. It's pretty nice though. Well, now that there's a bit more room in there, I'm gonna get this guy in there right at the tip. He's getting soaked. That's all I need. Can't get the big boy in there right there. It's been about 20 minutes. At first I thought this thing was just gonna liquefy, but looks like I'm gonna need more time. That calcite's still on there, so stay tuned. Might be an hour plus or so. Looking good. My calcite acid milkshake here. Okay, an update. As you see, the acid milkshake has stopped fizzing. It's like an hour. So I'm gonna just refresh the acid in there, take it out. So 1 hour later, this is what happened. Okay, so here they are. This batch is cleaned up now. I just finished pulling them out of the water soak. You do want to let them sit for a few hours. Change out the water as often as you can, just to get the acid to bleed out of there. Initially, I started out of this container, as you guys saw. After about an hour or so, the acid basically stopped reacting, so I would remove and change it out. And I did notice that one of the crystals popped off, so that was a bummer. And I'm thinking that most likely it was just loose before and held together by the calcite, but you just never know. So it could have been also the weight of the other specimen sitting on top of it, and as I had stacked it. So I didn't want to take a chance on these babies, and I went to a smaller container and just put like 2 at a time in here as I continue to clean them. And then there's also this guy right here, this beauty. He was, I don't have a before and after picture, but I decided to, I wasn't going to etch him, but because I like the calcite on there, but I wanted to see the end of this tip. So for the smaller pieces, I just like left it in there, just make sure that part was covered, and just etched them out on the corner, and I can still see the tip now. So that is working out pretty good with the calcite. Some of the other babies that came out great was this one here. And you can see that gray material down there, that's the dolomite. That'll also dissolve too, but I left it on there just to give it some color contrast. So that one, you can see some of the crystal faces in that Herc. This guy was probably the best. Look at that. That's the score. Beautiful tip sitting in that dolomite. And this big chunk here came out pretty good too. So I'm happy. I've got one more large one here to do, and he will fit just in this one tub. So I'm gonna get him cleaned up right now, see what happens. Okay, it's about 25 minutes. Let's get him, let's take a peek. Boy, there's a big guy here. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes, this is amazing. Look at that. Oh wow. Calcite, I love you, but I don't regret making this choice. That is just crazy. Holy smokes. Alright, let's get him back in the soak. Get the rest of it out. Alrighty, so what do you do with the wastewater, the acid? I neutralize it with baking soda, and then I pour it into this, a jug, get it out of your recycle bin, and I put it in the trash. You can also check your local city ordinance as to how to dispose of chemicals like this, but that's typically what they would say: neutralize it, and then you can also pour it down a sink or dump it, and just be responsible with the acid. There it is, folks. It is amazing. Look at that. There's the perfect tip right there. Still preserved. Awesome. A little bit of calcite at the bottom still. There's this guy pointing inward, completely covered before. What a phenomenal find. And there's also a twin tip right there. That's just crazy. Look at that beauty. That is insane. What an awesome find. Okay, this is a bit funny. I set aside a couple of large chunks, including this one, which was all calcite, but then I discovered there's one crystal face. So given that I had done that first batch and knew kind of how quickly or how long it took for the calcite to burn off, I decided to treat this one a little bit differently, as well as the next big one here. So take a look. This huge matrix calcite piece, I don't know if you guys can see the beautiful crystal faces there. So I really liked it and kept it for that reason. Then notice there's one Herc face pointing out there. It was still covered by chunks like this. It was actually a much larger piece, just like that. So given I had some experience earlier, took this small jeweler's screwdriver, using this chisel as a hammer, and I just started speeding up the process by gently popping these guys off until I got a little bit of a divot around that area. Then just started applying the acid so that it would just basically burn up just around the crystal face. Eventually I made a moat and I just kept dropping it very slowly. It took like at least half an hour, just drop by drop. I kept the rock tilted this way so it wouldn't damage you know, the matrix above it, and eventually I got me a nice beautiful point showing up. It just took time, drop by drop, and there it is right there. So I got everything I wanted, Herc and calcite. That's sweet. I don't think there's a way to save the calcite because that's a Herc, that's the big one in the middle, surrounded by it, and I pretty much just have to burn it off. So hopefully I'll get a nice point showing up there. Might be able to save the back end right here a little bit. I see some nice trigonal faces. This I'll chip out, but there's one Herc right there. So might be able to get a nice point, hopefully. Let's see what happens. For the spot in the back, I've already just chiseled out this section right there so I can see actually some of the crystal faces already. And then I'm going to acid wash just that portion, see if I can preserve that beautiful back wall right there. I got it leaning in a spot that's a little bit easier for me to see. Just getting it burned off in just that spot. Check it out. I've been chiseling along the fracture lines and popping the calcite off. So there's always a little bit of risk, but I've been going real slow and careful. So this is it. I think this is as far as I want to go, and now it's time to soak it. Look at him cook away. Here's that one I worked on earlier. He's done. I'm just burning off the ones in the back. Check it out, it's looking like a beauty. I've done the soak at about 20 minutes so far, full strength. Look at that. I even see some carbon inclusions in there. So I took it out because from messing with it earlier on other pieces, I know that the Hercs can actually loosen off the matrix if they're just continually soaking in the acids, because there's calcium in there as well. So I took it out and I'm just going to do the drip burn to get that out and that little bit there until I like it to that point. So just to be safe. Here's a progress update. Been about 20 minutes, you know, with the drip acid, and I see that these guys are fairly stable and secure, so I started chipping away at it, seeing as the calcite's going pretty deep into this vug. So just been going slow and steady, making sure I don't hit anything, and just going really slow, chipping away, cooking my crystals. Look at those beauties. This is it. I'm not doing any more. Beautiful. I count about 10 Hercs all in this vug. It is pretty cool. It's about the next best thing. I lost the tip likely when I busted this from the boulder, but this is about the next best outcome. And then I got that huge one here in the back. Kept the calcite on the matrix, so that's sweet. So this is probably my, well, I got 2 great pieces, so this is the largest on matrix. It is heavy. It's time to soak this big guy in water. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned something. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more adventures. Crystal Miner Rocks signing out. Okay, I'm gonna try to trim this matrix down, this piece a bit. There is one nice crystal there, but this guy's just pretty big, so let's see if it survives after the smack. What a bummer. Sad face. So that crystal blew right off. Everything came apart. I got chunks of calcite everywhere. Good news is there is actually a larger Herc right there, and let's see how it looks like after I take some of this surface stuff off. Looking super promising. It's a big boy. Perfect condition. Totally protected. Going slow. Little bit more coming out. Slowly but surely. Check out this perfect point. I just uncovered him. He was completely encased in calcite. What an awesome piece. Two beautiful Hercs with a big clump of calcite still left. As I continued to experiment, I decided not to burn everything off, but just chiseled away the pieces surrounding the Herc and exposed it, and then just the acid washed around it. So got the best of both worlds. Look at those beautiful rhombohedral crystal faces right there from the calcite. Love combo pieces. That's really the way they should be presented. After all, they were together for like millions of years in the vug. Another reason to keep the calcite is because it has fluorescent properties. So check this out. If it wasn't amazing before, double, look at that, what the what? Red glowing calcite. With the right UV light and filter, it will glow red, as you see here. The calcite from Florida will glow gold, but this is red for the ones in Herkimer County. So it is just now truly an amazing piece. Try to keep it together if you guys can. Just phenomenal.